I'm not sure Sterling is washed. I think Sterling needs the right team and the right system. And Arsenal's system is well oiled and well put together. It really, really is. And if he went into Chelsea, where Chelsea were in their pomp, I don't think the scenario ends in this way. But he's a player that kind of needs that help in terms of those balls being played into the box, the team having a good defensive structure, the creativity being there to kind of support him. A lot of his underlying metrics, and I didn't know about that website until Don showed it to me about a year ago. Is it like Data MB or Data Mob, whatever it's called, where you sort of look at different, it creates the sort of spider diagrams of the stats. When you look at his dribble success, and all of this, he's up there still with a lot of the top wingers in Europe. Now, that doesn't tell the full story. There is a frustrating element to Raheem Sterling with some of the big chances that he missed. However, I did research into that.
And his decision-making.
Yes, but I went in and looked at his big chances missed. 18 in the last 2 seasons at Chelsea, he has missed. In that same time, Marcus Rashford has missed 28. In that same time, Erling Haaland has missed 57. In that same time, Darwin Núñez has missed 59. So when you see the number, you go, oh, that's a lot of big chances missed. You have to go and do the research and look at how many big chances other players have missed as well to give you some sort of context. I think at the right price and the right salary, Raheem Sterling would be a good signing for Man United. I think he could be a very good signing for Arsenal because your club's in a better position, your system's better, the atmosphere is better, and he's not coming in as a savior. And I think that's such an important element. We talk about all these big money signings that fail. I think sometimes it's the expectation on those players. They come in as Sterling wouldn't be signing for Arsenal as the final piece of the jigsaw to win the Premier League. He would be coming in as a backup supplementary player who, if he performs well, could make a little bit of a difference. So if you can't get Nico Williams done, if you can't get Gyökeres done, I don't see this as a bad piece of business for Arsenal at the right price. Very, very similar to Chiesa at Liverpool. At £12 million, it's good business because it's not a huge risk, in my humble opinion.
We also,
Terry, it's more. I wanted that Nico Williams signing. I see that the club is willing to spend the money on Nico Williams. It's just unfortunate we couldn't convince him, because if he would have joined, the statement that would have been getting a player to say no to Barcelona, to join Arsenal, to come to the Premier League to play for Arsenal at this moment in time and be that guy who just won the Euros. The level of statement that would have been, it would have sent shockwaves throughout Europe, not only the Premier League. But Raheem Sterling, it's kind of like a stopgap, a player who's going to come in. He can be effective. If he is effective, he's going to help out. If he's not effective, at worst, we're just going to let him go.
Do you know what as well? It's not unrealistic now for teams in the Premier League to beat the Barcelonas to transfers. We've seen to beat Barca to transfer. We've seen West Ham just beat Juventus to the likes of Todibo. Like, the amount of money in the Premier League right now, it's just unfortunate that they've given him the number 10. Fair play to Williams. He's given Bilbao his loyalty. He wants to play one more year in Spain, and then he will. I think he's been advised, similar to Benjamin Sesko. He's been advised to play another year in Germany, get more experience. But I do think Arsenal will get a winger over the line in the next 24 hours. I've just got a feeling. I said this to Giuseppe 2 days ago on my channel. I think it will be Raheem Sterling. It makes the most sense. London-based, unhappy at a football club. I don't think they're going for Sancho. And I think Sterling in that system, in the right environment, would be a success. His best goal-scoring seasons have been while he's coached by Mikel Arteta. And he's not coming in to start. Like, he's coming in for squad depth and to compete with Bukayo Saka. But no one's out here saying he's going to start over Saka. But if it's a cut price and he's going to take a wage cut, I don't really see any downside. Even if it's just a 12-month loan, I don't see a downside to it.
At this point, we are desperate. Giuseppe, a couple of days ago, I was saying you're going to sign anybody. At this point, it seems like we are going to sign anybody, and that's the situation. There's two possibilities. We're talking about Raheem Sterling right now, but the other possibility is Kingsley Coman. Is Raheem Sterling a better choice than Kingsley Coman? I think he's more available injuries-wise. He doesn't get injured as often, so that's maybe the reason why they'd go with Raheem Sterling over Kingsley Coman.
We've got to remember Sterling's played under Arteta. Well, not under him directly, but he was a coach there. He was assistant manager there under him. He's also played in a system very similar to what we play now when he was at City. Definitely, if we don't sign a striker and we're playing with like that kind of false nine, he also brings us something different that we haven't got. Obviously, we all know Nico Williams would have also brought that and better because he's younger and he's got more ability, like at this moment in time. But I do think there's this element of the Chelsea thing is blinding a few people. I think he could be a better signing than what a lot of people think. Maybe not, or maybe so, but I think he could come in and people could go, you know what, man, we forgot that Sterling could do this. Maybe not end product wise, like in a sense of scoring an abundance of goals, but the way he tears up teams, like he can still do that. And I think for us, like I'd argue that he's more of a safe signing than signing Jadon Sancho for Chelsea. I'd say us signing Sterling from Chelsea is more of a safe buy than Chelsea buying Sancho from Man United.
Well, I mean,
given the environment, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, the environments and that, but also, I mean, where it's hard to, from a logic standpoint, Sterling has delivered in the Premier League where Sancho hasn't at any point yet. So there is that. I suppose the question over Sterling remains, and I want to be fair and balanced about this, is, I mean, there are a lot of Chelsea fans that believe he's absolutely washed. They don't believe it's their system. They don't believe it's their club. They don't believe it's the culture. They believe that Raheem Sterling is just absolutely over the hill and he's become a bad player. If that's true, then yeah, it doesn't matter where he goes because you watch.
Do you know what's funny, Terry? Do you know what's funny, Terry? With Chelsea fans, so he's washed, but Enzo Fernandez, no, it's because of Pochettino. It's because of Pochettino's system. It's because of this, because of that. For the players that they like, it's other things, and for the players they don't like, they're washed and this and that.
No. I will say no, Giuseppe. I will say this. Raheem Sterling has this innate ability to make the wrong decision at the most crucial moment. I don't know how he does it, but I know for a fact if it's like 1-on-1, we need to win this game. He's running through on goal. He's putting it wide. Like he does. Like there are bits in his game he can still run at people. He can still beat a man, and that, like is good. But my biggest worry when he was in our system last year was, even if he gets in the right spot, he's going to miss. Whereas at least with Arteta's system, what I think he'll do is it'll be like Pep, where it's like, you have this one thing to do it. I don't care like what else is going on, get to the byline, cut it back. Don't think about it, just do it. Because ultimately that's like the best thing for him to do. Like he just needs when you give Sterling time, that's when he's at his worst. He just needs to like either react to something or he just needs to be given an instruction and just repeat it. Like that is literally Raheem Sterling. So,
but this is the thing when it comes to these conversations, because Yellow Dean says, poor last season at City, 2 poor seasons at Chelsea, yet he'll somehow fix Man United. So when I mentioned Man United, what particular point and juncture did I say he was our savior and would fix us? That's the problem with these conversations. You know, it's the same as I will say this, and you know, we got Don and Ches and the Chelsea boys in the group chat. None of them have sat there and gone, Sancho's turning us into title winners. He's a squad player who is there to help and support us at the right price. And I think that's fair. I'm telling you, if you build Sancho up as the reason that you're going to suddenly become title contenders, I don't know if he can handle that pressure straight away. And I think it's silly to do, but no one has made those claims on the football terrace, Yellow Dean. So please stop lying. You literally are describing Mudryk, David.
Hey, that's my boy. Is blind faith. I don't want to hear it. I get what I'm not.
But
I'm not
David,
blind.
David,
not
David, but you're honest. David, but
No,
you're honest
no,
about it.
no.
David, no, hang on, David. I'm backing you.
No.
You're honest. You
Yeah.
say it's blind faith. You get the criticism of Mudryk. You're like, I don't care. I'm backing him anyway, and I respect that.
But he played good for a half against Liverpool.
I ain't blind. I can see it, but I'm just hoping he develops. That's what I can say.
Only 24
Let my boy grow. Just let him grow. Let him grow a little bit. Let him just, let him. I need another Liverpool game.
Sorry, guys. Breaking news. Damasio has just stated that there is now a very little chance that Sancho joins Juve. He goes on to say that Juventus have put the deal on hold. The past transfers of Philippe Kostic and Arthur Melo are blocking the move. Is that who they've just signed? Is it?
No, that's what they're trying to get rid of.
No, they're trying to get rid of.
Okay,
No,
so basically, they're basically saying that they put it on hold because they can't get rid of players. So yeah,
I'd take Kostic in a heartbeat. We've wanted that guy, haven't we, George? We've monitored, watched him for years.
We need a fullback as well. It's crazy. Tottenham are just, it's another conversation.
When it comes to the Osimhen deal, do you think you'll get that over the line, David? I mean, Fabrizio said it's in your hands. I'm still a little confused by what he means, because he's got to accept your deal. So I sort of view that as being in Osimhen's hands because he has to accept or not. But do you think you'll get it complete?
I think we will. I'm just very interested to see what the deal is. Is it going to be a loan? Is it going to be we buy him, or is it going to be a loan to obligation? Because depending on who you listen to, it could be any of those three things. Like it's so up in the air at this moment. But I just think we just been chasing him for so long that Todd Bowley's ego will kick in and be like, "Now we're getting him, so get him." Like, we need a big name striker to like finish off the window. And to be fair, like, even regardless of what I think of Osimhen, he's an upgrade on Lukaku. Like, we got rid of Lukaku. If we can bring in someone who can, potentially bag 15 to 20 goals, I don't see.
Does the Chelsea number 9 curse worry you about Osimhen? The fact that you've had 2 number 9.
Oh no, I don't think it's a number 9 curse. I just don't think Osimhen is that great a football player. I think he's a good finisher. Well, an above average finisher who in the right system will score a lot of goals. But like, I don't think he's a world beater. I don't think he's going to come into the Premier League.
You're still prepared to go out there and drop big money on him, and that's, like I said, 2 number 9s, 18 years. Like the numbers aren't going for him, are they?
All I'm going to say is I've done the Lukaku thing, and I told everyone he was going to be dead, right? But no one wanted to listen. And it was 100 mil, and it was just gone, and we can't. What can I do?
What are you saying about Osimhen?
So now I'm starving. As Terry's been as has been becoming a theme on this. I'm starving, to be honest. If a guy can strike the ball hard into a corner, I'm taking him as a striker, because we have nobody. Like, no one can do it. Like Nicholas Jackson is fantastic at everything except kicking the ball at the goal in the corner. You know what I mean? Like, I just need someone who can just, if he can do it 15 to 20 times a season, even if he has the worst first touch in the world and everyone's doing up compilations, I won't really care. I just would like someone who can score a goal.
Is it the end of the world if you guys don't get a striker?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll create loads of chances anyway. So that's why I think Osimhen is I think Osimhen will actually, even though again he's not the best football player, because he is a decent finisher, he will get a lot of goals. It's the same thing with Solanke. Don't think Solanke's that great a football player, but I think because Spurs make so many chances.
I think you've got it the other way around with Solanke. I think Solanke's a good football player, not a great finisher.
He misses a lot of chances.
I think Chelsea only get one or the other with Sancho and Osimhen, to be honest. I don't think you get both. And I think the Osimhen stuff seems to be stalling on the wages he's asking for, and you're not really wanting to pay. Now you let by what Chelsea said, that's the reason you didn't get Elise, because of the wages. So are they now going to go back on it and sign Osimhen with the wages that they obviously don't see? And I think that's why it's in Chelsea's hands. I reckon Osimhen said, give me 400k a week and I'll sign a deal and I'll come to you. So therefore it's kind of in your hands. Just give him the 400k and you sign him. But are you going to do it? And I think you're pushing this Sancho deal. From how I'm looking at it, you're pushing this Sancho deal and you're going to be like, if we get Sancho, we're going to leave Osimhen. If we can't manage to get Sancho, maybe we'll go and just slap it down and get Osimhen. Because the way Chelsea have moved in this window, I don't get why they wouldn't have got Osimhen by now. If that makes sense. With Arsenal,
yeah, no, it definitely don't make sense.
With Arsenal and stuff, it would make more sense because you're like, they're probably trying to, we've done it all window, taking ages to sign Moreno, ages to sign Calafiori. But with Chelsea, they've moved so quick. Why is this one taking longer? And I think it might be that. So I don't know if you'll get him, man. But I do think it'll be your choice not to get him.
Yeah. I think it's, if we don't get Osimhen, we'll probably end up with Tony anyway. But like, it's weird. Like, obviously his wages are very high, but I think Chelsea kind of knew, because it's the similar situation to Sterling, where it's like Sterling's got to go. Like, he said he's leaving, he's not playing again. So because he's got to go, it's like, we'll just wait. And ultimately his cheapest price will be at the end of the window when they need him gone. So there wasn't a rush to like.
On the Sterling situation, it's just been confirmed now that Arsenal are now the favourites to sign Raheem Sterling before the end of the deadline. It was going to be interesting. That will then change the situation for Sancho to Man United, because that means Chelsea would now have to pay us, unless there's other players that we've already said no to Ben Chilwell. So there's potential other players they could offer our way. But again, everyone picks and chooses. Chelsea fans now are telling me they trust Damasio. A couple of weeks ago when I mentioned Damasio, the same people were telling me that he's a fraud. So people pick and choose. But if the reports are true that Juve have put the deal on hold because they can't sell players, and Arsenal are now the favourites to sign Sterling, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. I mean, I enjoy this stuff. No one knows what's going to happen. It makes the Sancho to Chelsea deal now more interesting, because Chelsea would have to give us money. What are we then going to do with that? You've got the Kingsley Coman situation, as we mentioned earlier. Arsenal linked to him. There's Premier League clubs looking at him. I still feel like all of our clubs are going to end up signing another kind of attacker at some level in the next 24 to 48 hours. Miguel Delaney. No, I meant Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United.
I know.
Miguel Delaney has just posted saying Arsenal have been offered the chance to sign Raheem Sterling. Mikel rates Sterling, but he would need to settle his contract issue with Chelsea and take a salary cut. That's also a stumbling block. We mentioned Sterling might say to Arsenal, "I'm happy to take £100,000 a week," but he might turn around to Chelsea and say, "But I still want the £70 million you owe me, or a percentage of that." And that's also, this is where Chelsea may end up they're not just going to pay him off completely, because then you might as well just leave him rotting there. You know what I mean? You might as well have him. He might play, but that's what's really interesting about Sterling leaving as well. Chelsea are probably going to have to compensate him and pay a percentage of his wages over the next 3 years as well. So I've seen a few reports.
So Terry, just so I understand it, so with this Sterling deal, is it just going to be Sterling gets released and then signs for Arsenal, like a termination of contract, or are they actually buying him?
Well, it can be a number of things. I mean, it can work on multiple levels. So Arsenal might buy him for, say, 10 million.
Jorginho 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal could buy him for 10 million, but then Sterling only signs his contract with Arsenal if he gets a new deal from Chelsea, where they pay him a lump sum, or they pay him. What normally happens is you get paid. It's like when managers get sacked, they don't get a lump sum; they just get paid a wage still until the end of their contract. So maybe he'll go, "I'm getting £100,000 at Arsenal. I'll settle for £100,000 from you, £150,000 from Chelsea," and Chelsea still pay him that. But from a Chelsea perspective, they might only spend 30 million on him leaving, rather than keeping him and spending 70 million on his wages and bonuses. So, yeah, that's what they've got to look at really when it comes to that. Dan.